Iron deficiency is actually the most widespread nutrient deficiency in the world. And that's not just for vegans. Surprisingly enough, vegans get a similar or even higher intake of iron on an average day than do non-vegetarians. This information is coming from Brenda Davis's book, Becoming Vegan. It's a great read for anybody interested in plant-based living. Sorry, my 1-year-old just woke up from her nap and she's very energetic. So she's going to be joining us. So I'm going to be going over why we need iron, how much we need, meat versus plant-based sources, non-heme versus heme iron, and the role that vitamin C plays in absorption rate. So if you like videos about plant-based lifestyles and just health in general, I like to cover things on gluten intolerance, food addiction, plant-based pregnancies, raising vegan children. Please subscribe. So, to start, what we need iron for. So, it's actually a component of blood. So, it helps to transport oxygen and rid the body of CO2. It's used to make cellular energy. It's used in some mental processes. I already mentioned it's used in detox. It helps with immune function. So on an average day, the RDI, or the recommended dietary intake, is 8 milligrams for men and 18 milligrams for women due to the menstruation factor. So actually during pregnancy is a time of very high risk for women for iron deficiency, because they need about double the amount of iron due to the increased blood supply that their body is creating for the fetus. Lactation, surprisingly enough, is only a 9 milligram requirement per day of iron. So let's go over some meat versus plant-based sources. I was really surprised. I was writing an article on this on my blog at modernnutritiondesigns.com. Feel free to check this out if you want more in-depth information on this topic. But I'm going to turn this around so you can see it. Sorry about the mess. We just moved in not too long ago. So, here are some of the most widely utilized iron sources, I feel. So, if you look at the animal source iron availability, beef really only holds 2.2 milligrams, eggs 1.89, poultry 1.8, and so on and so forth. But if you compare that to the plant sources, you can see that there is an incredibly higher amount offered through the lentils, the kidney beans, the quinoa, and so forth. So now the argument against that fact is typically that iron from animal sources is typically more readily absorbed because it's heme iron as opposed to the non-heme iron found in plants. My daughter's wearing my clean underwear on her head. So, wanna see? Ayana, what you got? What you got, baby girl? Say hi. You got nothing, huh? She says hi. So, where was I? Oh yes, heme iron. So, the body really only needs so much iron, to the point where if you get too much, it starts causing a lot of damage. Like, it is a pro-oxidant, so it damages DNA, cells, tissues, and causes all sorts of problems in the body. It's been linked to Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and multiple sclerosis and I forget the other ones, but it's not good for your body. Hold on, honey, I'm almost done. So, we already talked about how it's more readily absorbed, but it's also less able to be regulated properly when you get the dietary form of iron from meat-based sources. When you get it from plant-based sources, it's not as readily absorbed due to the fiber and other components of plants, but it is more carefully regulated. So it is released into the body in a slow, steady fashion instead of just a quick shot like heme-iron. So the last thing I want to mention is the factor that the role that vitamin C plays in iron absorption. It actually significantly improves the rate of absorption. So plants are the only thing that have vitamin C. There's no vitamin C in animal products. So you're inevitably getting that increased absorption through consuming plants with vitamin C. So, in all, iron deficiency is incredibly common regardless of what diet you're on. You just have to be careful to include high fiber foods in each of your meals throughout the day. Like I mentioned earlier, beans, lentils, spinach, broccoli, rice, quinoa, lots of different whole grains. Start your day off with some oatmeal, and then for lunch have maybe a sandwich with some whole wheat bread or some rice, and then finish the day out with a pasta or some kind of stir fry. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.